Good afternoon and welcome to the September 19th, 2022 Board of Public Works and Safety. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Jim Barrett.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Frank?
Let's pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for this day and for the blessings of being here. We lift up the Board of Public and Safety, and we pray, God, for the leadership before us. We pray for the mayor and his continued leadership for this city. We pray for the agenda before them and all those who are here to ask with requests to better their program or better their community. And so now we just simply ask that you be with us all. And this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to welcome everyone. I invite you to turn your cell phone ringers off. We will begin with roll call.
Brian Dobb.
Present.
Becky Gibson.
Here.
Diana Phillips.
Present.
Jim Barrett.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the September 6th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion, a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to new business. I gotta get organized here a little bit. Sorry, I got too many things on my desk. First thing I do, wow, that was good grammar. First thing on the agenda is the announcement of trick or treat in Connersville. It'll be October 31st from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Is Amanda here? Is she out there, Clet? That's a no. He's not listening. Move on down to item C. Carol and Judd requesting permission to conduct a boot drive for a CHS choir on November 5th. Come on up.
Good afternoon. I'm here this time representing the CHS choir and students who will be traveling between Christmas and New Year's to Florida to represent our community, singing at, I believe, Epcot and Disney Springs. And they would like to conduct a boot drive on November the 5th.
What time?
All three locations and the time.
I would imagine 9 to 2 would cover the window.
You just say all three locations? Okay.
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Good. It's Dusty Stevens. Let's see. Okay, well, you're not Dusty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or afternoon.
October 29th, correct? I wanna make sure.
October 29th. I'm just representing the shelter asking permission for a boot drive. All three locations from 9 to 1.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I'm trying to write and talk, and that's usually not good.
No, it's fine. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay. Item E, approval resolutions 2022-28 through 2022-31. Rosemary.
Resolution 2022-28 is a transfer within the cable TV budget, moving $35.28 from postage to travel. Resolution 2022-29 is a resolution to transfer within the city hall budget, moving $500 from sanitation to other maintenance and repairs. Resolution 2022-30 is a resolution within the council budget, moving $100 from the 911 appropriation to the 911 expense appropriation. Resolution 2022-31 is a resolution to move $15,000 within the fire budget, moving it from specialty pay to overtime.
Any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second to approve resolutions 2022-28 through 31. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Rosemary, you want to talk about the enlargement of job titles for city clerk?
Everybody that works for the city pays into PERF at the same time as the city pays in a larger amount into PERF, or MPERS is what it's now called. And we have to have the position titles in their system to be able to cover all employees. And so this is just adding 5 new titles. So everybody will be able to collect their retirement when they're ready to retire.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We have approval of the interlocal agreement with Connersville Utilities. Brad, you want to come up here? Or is that Rosemary?
The salary ordinances were not passed when we originally passed the interlocal agreement, so this is just amending the amount being owed to Connersville Utilities for the 2 positions.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Brad, you got the driveway permit at 2211 Vermont.
Yeah. Is Vicky Taylor here? They didn't show up. Do you want me to?
Is anybody out there, Clint?
You want to go ahead and pass it without them here, or you want me to?
If you can do it, it's up to you.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Justin, will you put that picture up? 2211 Vermont. They're gonna put all new sidewalks in, but they wanna make that a double driveway to match the rest of the driveway all the way out to the street. Doesn't look like too big of a deal, but. So, they've asked for permission to do a curb cut double wide there.
Okay. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve Brad's request.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to item J. I have permission to block off Grant Avenue from 4th to 5th on October 5th. That's actually going to be me asking that. During the community,
Where are
We don't
you?
have a J.
it's added to it, sorry. We added it last minute. We got a landscaping project that's going to be going in front of the train station for the Community Day of Sharing. Adrian Napier was working on that with the soil and water conservation. So there's going to be a group of people working on that, but in order to get the mulch and stuff in, they wanted to block that section off. I think it was from 8 till 5, I believe, was the time. We didn't use all that, but we want to block it off that time so they can get mulch, get the stuff in, the plants in there. It's just for October 5th is what we're looking to do. They're just that one little section so they can get that landscaping done.
Grand Avenue or
Grand.
on October 5th?
Yep.
I move to approve.
Second.
And a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Sorry it was last minute. We just did that Friday, so. And we didn't have time for the next meeting to get that done. We went on to department matters. Brad.
We have to skip introducing Luke today because he was too busy. So I'll try to bring him to the next meeting so you can see who that is. We had a resignation of our custodian at the utilities, so if you remember, I asked you back a couple meetings ago about hiring a new part-time person at the office. Well, in interviewing for that position, we found somebody that was perfect for this one. So Sandra Parks is going to be our new custodian. That's more or less wanted to let you know. Do you want to approve it?
Yes, sorry.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The next thing, as everybody knows, we've been talking about for a while, we're upgrading our office software, which is quite an ordeal that's coming to fruition here on October the 4th. We will go live with the new software. On October the 3rd, we need to be closed at the office so that we can go through the, I guess a lot of it you would say training, but just to switch over and entering new data and to get this thing ready to go. And I'll be talking more about it on Facebook and in the paper just to warn the customers. And we've got a thing that went out, supplement that went out with our bill that tells there's going to be bleeps and everything else going on in the switchover. We're going to be, our bill pay is going to go offline for, I wish I had the calendar. I guess I do sort of have a calendar in front of me. I think on Friday the 30th, where you can get online and pay a bill will go offline that morning. And it won't, the new Invoice Cloud bill pay will not come online until the 4th. So you're going to have a weekend there right at, and the bad thing is the bills will be hitting people's mailboxes and stuff during that time. But until the 4th, the new bill pay will not come online. So there's going to be a few days there where you're just going to have to hold off. And the lucky part is we're in a time of the month where we're not shutting people off or anything like that. So it'll just only affect people by making them wait a few extra days to pay their bill. But I want you to give us permission to close on the 3rd on that Monday so that we can get ready to go live
I'm planning on closing, Brad,
all day.
first thing in the morning.
Yeah, we'll be closed all day on Monday.
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
You have a motion and a second to close the office on October 3rd for public, but not close the office for employees. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And to clarify, motion carried.
You have in front of you a couple of requests for permission to give water service outside city limits. 3142 and 3182 West Country Club Road.
Are we gonna do the pavy one today also?
I'd like to, if you want to do it, if you just want to throw it in together. I just got this one this morning. John Pavey, we had talked months and months ago, but he had forgotten and thought he was on Everton Water, and then he realized, no, he's on Connorsville. So we're trying to get this one pushed through so that he can get his water service available to them. They're not going to be opening until later in October, but they need to be able to hook up so they can check their water and make sure all the plumbing's good and all that. So nice new business over there. We didn't want to hold them up, so if you could approve that one at the last minute today, it'd be good.
So if there's any questions on all three of these?
Motion to approve.
You guys are fast. Second. Motion and a second to approve all three applications. And all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Chief Bowles.
Say, Chief.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I got two items of business. The first one is promoting Officer Josh Tudor from the Patrol Division to our Detective Division. Officer Tudor has been with us for 5 years. He had some history in Union City as a police officer. This position comes open with our Detective McQueen retiring last month. So we had a vacancy there. We did some, whoever was interested wrote us a letter of interest. We interviewed them. Our review board reviewed them, and we determined that Officer Tudor would be our next detective. Since Detective McQueen has retired, Officer Tudor has stepped in and done part-time detective work. At the moment, we have one full-time detective, so he helped us out a great deal. So I'm asking that the board find it in favor to promote Officer Josh Tudor to detective.
Motion to approve.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Here it is.
Congratulations.
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 Our second item is, since Detective Coons left us and retired, opened up a detective spot where our lieutenant in our patrol division, Ryan Sherwood, took that detective position. So that left an opening in our patrol division supervisor as a lieutenant. We took letters of interest on this also. We did our interviews and did our review board. And through all that process, we've determined that Sergeant Clint Brown will be promoted to lieutenant. Sergeant Brown's been a sergeant for 2 years with us. He's been on 6 years with us and about 2.5 years with the Sheriff's Department, so he's got some law enforcement experience. He's a member of our CERT team and is our acting public information officer. He has built trust with the patrol officers in the way he supervises. Sergeant Brown is currently assigned a second shift where the majority of our young officers are assigned, and I feel that it's crucial that we have a supervisor that has hands-on with his patrol officers, and Sergeant Brown displays that. So it's my hope that you, as a board, works to find it favorable to promote Sergeant Clint Brown to lieutenant.
Is he staying on an afternoon shift, and is he staying in the public officer,
PIO, public information?
PO, yeah?
Yes, sir.
He's staying in both of those?
So far, I mean, he can obviously get bumped off of seconds, like,
Yeah.
seniority every 3 months or so, they can decide that they want to go elsewhere, but he has a desire to stay on seconds and train the young officers.
Make a motion to approve Randy's request?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You too, Tudor.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Knock everything over for me.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. Chief Harden.
So I'm not sure this exactly rises to, I know there was some old policy on when stuff got added to an inventory, new policy. I wasn't sure when this got put on, but we had one of our printer scanners give us the blue screen of death. Despite numerous attempts to resuscitate, it was unsuccessful. So we did have to buy a new one, and just like permission just to get rid of this old one.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying, I thought you were gonna give a longer speech than
I mean, I can, but
we're all waiting for it.
there was a,
It's pretty interesting.
Let me get past this. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
between Mike and myself, we spent about 3 or 4 hours trying to save this thing, and there was just no saving it. So it didn't know us anything. It was many years old. So
That's fine. You threw us for a curveball.
I'm sorry.
You're up next, so you can just
I was
answer.
just planning to stay. Yeah.
Keeps us on our toes.
Yeah. So you should have my report. We had 341 calls for service. So this year so far we've had 2,557 calls for service. Have my employee recap, fuel recap. Fair, we had 160 man hours of coverage for the fair. Our biggest coverage event of the year. So with being on the top side and covering track events. Also had 6 man hours for covering football and 3 hours for covering harness races. The other thing that was really nice for August was that we finally got our 2 new power cots that you guys approved back in April. So just the way the supply chain is, everything is so slow. So we finally got those in service and got the loaner cot returned. And they just picked up the one we traded in, I think last Thursday or Friday. So we finally have all that squared away. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, sir.
So you'll see a very large expense in August. So, or no, it'll be in September. It'll be in September. So.
Superintendent Good.
Hi,
Hello.
Well, my secretary Kate got promoted to mom on September the 6th. She had her baby, so I did want to let you all know we have a person filling in. Her name is Letitia Hawley in the park office, and she is doing a great job. So if you have a chance and want to come by and say hi, please do. Kate will be back in 6 weeks. So, Justin, I'm not sure what order these pictures are in. I've got lots of pictures to show you. This is of our bark park. This is our small bark park. This is funded by the Connersville Veterinary Clinic. They sponsored the large and the small bark parks. You can just, I think there's a couple there. We bought this new equipment with proceeds from their last vaccination clinic. The next one is coming up on October the 15th from 11 to 1. And just wanted to kind of show you the upgrades. The little bark park's finished now. It's got full equipment, and that's the kind of things that we buy when people come out for the vaccine clinic. This is a picture of our new pole barn. We actually added on the sidewalks because we liked it so much. So now we are able to go from the gym out the sidewalk to the back of the pole barn, and then also out this side of the gym, and pull vehicles in and out of the garage side, or pull things in and out. Do you have pictures of the inside of that, Justin? I think I had some. Oh, there they were. I wanted to show you guys these. I had these all numbered and everything, I promise. I wanted to show you guys these because people have asked me, why did you build that monstrous pole barn? This is why. All of this stuff was shoved in the breezeways of the Miller building and in the basement of the Roberts building. It was extremely tacky and extremely hard to get to. So there is, you can see extra tables and chairs. We had our bleachers, our indoor soccer walls, our basketball goals, all kinds of things that are now out of the way, stored away, so our airlocks are now empty and they look nice and they're safe, because if you should have to exit in an emergency, you're not going to have to potentially climb over something. So that's what's inside, just in case anyone wondered why we went so big. Okay, what's next up there? It doesn't matter to me.
You tell me.
Well, oh, is that the park house?
Park
Okay.
house, and then I have pool.
We can go to the park
The
house,
trail.
that's fine. So one of the projects that has been on our mind for a little while is to tear down the park house. The park house was the place where the superintendent used to reside. I don't believe that's been the case since at least 25 years ago. It would have been before Mike Bottomley. I showed you these pictures to show you the kind of disrepair the house is in. We were using it for some storage, which we moved over to our new pole barn. So we are no longer in need of the house in any way. But you can see just from these pictures the thousands, tens of thousands of dollars that would have to be dumped into that house for someone to live there again. With our new fence around our shop area, it's actually pretty well, it's enclosed now. It's basically part of where the maintenance is. So our goal would be to eventually build another barn to house trucks, our tractor, things that we have to leave outside that we would really rather not. I've spoken with Historic Preservation. They don't have any problem with us taking it down. It's just a matter of filling out some paperwork. The only other obstacle will be to move the Wi-Fi service to a different location. So that would be the other expense. So I don't know if you have to make a motion on that. I just wanted to make you guys aware of our intentions and answer any
It's a good idea
questions
to do
or.
it.
Okay. We'll go ahead and do a motion to be safe.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Hopefully we'll get that done before we hit tons of snow. The pool liner is ripped back out. It looks like it did last spring. So the guys are here. If you remember the deep end of the pool, the lane lines were not installed correctly. So the whole deep end had to come back out. It got taken out last week, and they thought they might be done by Friday, but they were not. So there might be a couple pictures just to kind of show you what's going on over there. So hopefully by the end of this week, it's supposed to be pretty nice this week. So this is a picture of the Roberts Building, the lift that's located on the back side. We have completed a new ramp with the help of the mayor and Friendly Contracting. Had you been by there to see it yet? Yeah. So that in conjunction with some other repairs and adjustments we've made to the lift, that should work a lot better for those people that need to use it. So just wanted to show you that project. And then what's left? The trail. Are you guys all familiar with the Nickel Plate Trail? I don't know if anybody's a walker. It starts backside of the bowling alley, goes north to Lick Creek. If you've ever walked it, you might have noticed that, well, it's in between Erie and the end of the trail. I'm not sure exactly where the turnoff is, but there is a turnoff where you head east. Looks like you're going out into the cornfield, but you can actually head east and then south, and it takes you back down to Erie. This project was, one of the maintenance people was actually putting the stone down the first week I started. So back in 2019, this project was pretty well, done. Not really sure who decided this is where we call it the extension, the nickel plate extension. Why it was put there, not really sure. The foundation, the community foundation, funded the park $15,000 to purchase the stone. The problem that we have encountered over the last 4 years is the section of trail that abuts to Lick Creek is, you can see it's so close to it was put so close to the edge that this edge is eroding. We probably started with about 25 feet from that orange fence to the edge of the cliff 4 years ago. We're probably down to probably 5 feet. So it's quite a big problem. We have investigated working with the DNR to do construction in a floodway. Long story short, it's a super big deal and it's really expensive on top of the actual solution to the problem. This particular section of the trail is on Community Gospel's property, for which we have an easement with them. I was hoping to come to you today and say we've got the perfect solution, which was in your packet. We had sent them a proposal to purchase, so from the stone path south 50 feet, we had proposed to purchase that area of trail. It was about 60% of an acre. We offered them 60% of the going price for an acre, and they turned us down last Friday. That was more money than I really had in my trail fund to spend, and I'm not sure that more than that would have been a fair price. So unfortunately that did not work out. The easement is in perpetuity, so we still have this section of trail. I'm working right now with the city attorney to figure out is there signage we can put up? You know, we don't want anyone to get hurt, obviously. That's why there's the big orange safety fence, but was hoping to come today with a solution, but don't have one.
You'll be getting a phone call from a lady from Soil and Water about there might be
The
some.
vegetation,
Yeah.
that could work.
So you should be getting, she might have already contacted you then, so.
Yeah, I haven't heard from her yet. I heard she was gonna be calling me, but, just kinda wanted to make you guys aware. I know we haven't really talked about this before, but, when people may ask you, what's going on with that crappy section of trail? Why don't they pave it? Well, we can't safely get equipment back there. If we sent a paver back there, it would just poop right over the side. We were gonna put up a split rail fence. We're even afraid to get a post hole digger out there because we don't know the stability of the ground, etc. So was disappointed in that conclusion, but we will either be finding something or possibly shutting that down because we can't have people back there. And I've also had the director of the foundation in the loop of all of this because they did make such a big financial commitment. So she's well aware of what's going on. I think that's all my pictures. Speaking of the foundation, they also gave us the remainder of the $1,500 to purchase our pool lift chair. So we will be ordering that soon. At Smalley's, there is a invasive species work day. It's on September 24th from 10 to noon. And you can call Soil and Water at 825-2331 if you'd like to participate. And then girls' basketball registrations are due next Thursday, the 29th by 4 o'clock. And just another reminder that we will be offering fall break camp from October 24th to October 28th. Very similar to Summer Discovery, just calling it Fall Discovery. And then the Jacko Jaunt is going to be on October 11th on the other half of the Nickel Plate Trail. And the only other thing I thought I might mention is something else that Letitia has helped me immensely get done is we do have a new deposit procedure at the park. We've worked with Rosemary and her staff to kind of button things up so we will no longer be holding any deposits for rental buildings at the park. Those are all going to get sent to the clerk's office and then refunded through the clerk's office. So there will be no more losing a check or misplacing money or those types of problems. The only thing that will change for customers is it's just going to take a little longer to get their deposit back. It'll take a couple weeks because we'll have to claim it in and then it'll be mailed. So.
Would they be going to the clerk's office to pay? Or
No,
still
she'll
come
mail
to
it
you
to them. We're going to get their address.
To pay for the reservation?
No, we'll take it and then send it in our collection. So instead of keeping it in a drawer, it'll be going in our collection to the clerk. So it'll be, instead of me handing it back to you right when you're done, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks for it to come back. So, all right, thank you guys.
Thank you. Chief Jones.
Good afternoon. Connersville Fire Department monthly report for August. We'll start off with the overtime. Overtime was up quite a bit in August. Still have a couple guys that are off. Had a little bit over $15,000 in overtime total. $752.94 was FLSA, and the remainder of that was manpower shortage. This month it should be a little bit better. We got a 3-pay month in September, so it should start to decline. Moving down to, does anybody have any questions on overtime?
What did consist of all that? Because that's double what everything else was.
It vacations, along with having the two guys off. And if you guys take sick days here and there, and it's just with having 2 guys on sick leave, it makes it hard, especially during vacation season. there's not a whole lot we can do about it. We got a minimum manning we gotta keep per day, so hopefully we get, the guys back healthy and, they're both off on injuries, so. Fuel usage, you'll see that that's up. I do have a good excuse for that. Our annual pump test we did in August. Basically, the company comes down, we have to have it done annually. They test all the pumps on all the apparatus. So each truck we take down gets tested for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, and it's running the pumps at very, very high RPMs for a long period of time, so it uses a lot of fuel. So we had 5 trucks go through that, so it uses a lot of fuel, so that's going to be the difference in the usage of fuel for August. All right, move on to incident count for August. We had a total of 190 incidents, 78% of those being EMS related, 22% being fire related. You can see the rundown of the incidents for August, and then following that we'll have a total for the year ending August 31st. We had a total of 1,348 incidents. Once again, 78% of those being EMS and 22% of those being fire. And then following that, you'll also see a rundown for the runs for the year so far. Moving on to training, you'll see a list there of all the different training that the guys did throughout the whole month, with a total of 81.5 instructed hours of training. The guys continue to do quite a bit of training, so I'm proud of them for that. And then on the last page, you'll see a list of inspections that we completed in August, a total of 19. You'll see a few of them in there twice. I did inspections, and then they fixed the things they needed fixed and requested for me to come right back the following week and go ahead and check those. So that's why you'll see those on there twice. So we are still in the process of taking applications last week and this week. If anyone wants to apply, they can check out our Facebook page, or they can download from the link on our Facebook page, or they can come to Station 1, pick up an application. They have till this Friday at 4 o'clock to turn them in. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Bottom, you up first? You're it.
Hello. Hello. August report, revenue disbursements. Revenue is pretty good for the month. Disbursements, a little high in water, but that's been kind of a norm this year with water. Overtime, $4,355, and about $2,000 of that is water side of it. The Woodside alarm system, been having problems with it. They've been coming in on weekends and making sure everything's working, so hopefully we get that resolved here in the next few weeks. Then I have the water sewer reports attached, some of the work orders that the water crew and service crew have accomplished in August. Projects, miscellaneous, August 24th, we hosted the Water Alliance seminar, took place at the John Miller Center. It's pretty nice because we get some of our continuing education hours without having to go out of town. So we also hosted a sewer one in September, but we'll also replace a new grinder pump at the Walmart lift station, $6,895. Should be on today's claims. We repaired over $20,000 worth of road cuts for August. And at the last page is a couple photographs of our golf ball project. The pedestal that the golf ball sits on was starting to show a lot of wear. I mean, it was installed back in the day in the 60s. So we've tried to chip some of that away, and we poured a new foundation, tied it in with the old foundation. So turned out pretty nice. Used over 18 yards of concrete, but it turned out, we're pretty happy how it turned out. Lastly, the copper lead survey. We talked about this a while back. I have the survey and the procedures that we mailed out. We mailed out about 200 to the Beeson area just to see what type of input we're going to get. If it's going to be worth the whole community. But we felt like we got over, I think we sent out 200. We got over 100 back, still getting some in, getting good information. So we're going to start sending them out throughout the community. People's writing little notes on them. My husband, it's galvanized coming into the house. My husband replaced all the pipes inside the plastic. So we're getting pretty detailed of the people who are sending them back. And we are getting some unknown. Those we just have to go out and check. So hopefully by end of this week, next week, we'll start sending them out to the rest of the city to start this inventory or a service line inventory. Is there any questions?
Will these be sent out in like just a separate?
Yeah, we'll send them out in an envelope. It has a return postage, so it doesn't cost them anything. Just fill it out, put it back in an envelope, and put it back in the mail. So we try to make it as easy as possible.
That's why you're getting such a good.
And right, if anybody have questions, please give us a call.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Mike.
Luke ended up making it after all. So I wanted to introduce Luke Cobbs. Most of you probably already know him because he's worked here for 20-something.
27 plus.
Yes, years. He came over to the dark side with us on the management side for a while. His expertise in all different kinds of street work, with pavement to plumbing to whatever, is going to come in very valuable to us. He has taken over supervising at the service department for the utilities, helped alleviate some of the duties that Mike was doing because he's going to be spending a whole bunch of his time on this inventory and GIS stuff, and makes a lot of sense for him not to have to go supervise the guys at the service building. And he's also taken some of the duties that Bonnie had as far as the supervision of the guys. He's going to be able to go out in the field where she's kind of tied to the office and the phone with her portion of duties. So I just kind of wanted to let you get a good look at him. We'll give his phone number to each and every one of you so you can call him every time you need something.
Yes.
So did you want to give a speech?
No.
I didn't think. So anyway, this is Luke. So
I'm a doer, not a talker.
That's what we want to hear.
He likes to be out in the field working, and it's already paying off. We've been getting things done and doing a good job. He's able to teach the guys in some instances, and they've been teaching him some things about their department. So it's working out real nice so far, and we'll keep you informed as it goes along.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you all.
Yes, you too.
I'm going to give you a real quick rundown of the transfer and the street department reports. Do you all have copies of the transfer report? Okay. We had 471 tons brought in by the truck. We had 446 tons brought in by the public to the transfer station, 917 tons total, 24 tons of recycling, and then I wanted to tell you about a few things at the street department. We have mowed 19 properties in the month of August. They've been super busy taking care of properties, and our summer crew, young kids and stuff that we had have quit for the year, so now it's a lot of extra work on the other guys. So they're having to really help it to keep up with them. And then large item pickup, we're kind of on hiatus of that now because we are getting ready to work on some crack sealing in the month of October, and then we'll start picking up leaves. Once that's done, we'll see how things go. We'll try to start picking up one item of heavy trash again one of these days before too long. I wanted to tell you we had 369 loads of brush dropped off. That shows you how much that compost site is getting used. This year the limbs have really piled up, so I had announced over the weekend we're going to be closed for 2 weeks at the compost site so that we can get caught up on our grinding. A few years ago we were spending what, 30 or 40,000 to bring in somebody to do our grinding to catch us up, And we can't really afford to do that, so we're trying to keep after it ourselves. So if we close for these 2 weeks, hopefully they can make a huge dent in how many limbs we got piled up down there right now.
And that was the 2 weeks you were wanting me to do.
The first 2 weeks of October, so we'll be closed the week of the 3rd and the week of the 10th, and that means Saturdays too. So we'll open back up on the 17th.
Is there an alternate site or somewhere else they can take limbs?
There really just isn't. I hate to. We talked about that a little bit, you know, okay, we could put them somewhere and then we could haul them down there once they get finished, but it just, if everybody can just hang on to them for a couple of weeks and then we'll bring them down there. We just really need to
So
do this.
there's no location in Richmond or Rushville? Or?
Oh, I don't know. I'll try to check into that, and if I can find something close, then I'll tell people about it. Hopefully not the nearest county road or something like that, but I'll see if we can come up with something. Okay, so that's that. Mike gave you a pretty good rundown with the utilities, but I made a list of different things that some people seem interested in what I'm up to some of the time, so I thought I would just throw out a few of the things that not just me, but me and the whole staff together are working on at the moment. And so humor me for just a second. One of the things we're working on right now, and we're about a month into it, is a update of the community construction standards. That's a partnership between the Redevelopment Commission and the commissioners and the city. That's a pretty involved process that Westlers is working through for us. We have been spending quite a bit of time working on a update of Woodside tank and Baptist Temple booster station to help us with getting a little extra chlorine to that tank out there. There's not a lot of water used out of that tank, so sometimes we've added a mixer and we're make some changes to the station to keep chlorine out there like it needs to be. And this Headworks project you've been hearing me talk about, this has been about 70% of my time the last month or so. We're in kind of a pause right now because we're working on how to do the dewatering down there without doing anything to pollute the river or pollute our site with the chemicals that were left over on the dump site next door. So as of last Thursday or Friday, we're sort of going to IDEM to come up with a site dewatering permit, and so that we can have their blessing with I think the recent plans are that we'll dewater, but we'll do sampling as we do it to make sure that we're not moving chemicals around, and if we are, then we're going to put in an extraction well that will treat those chemicals before they either go to the river or get to our site of construction. We have been working through a water main replacement study and the possibility of doing SRF financing through a water bond. We have been delayed by a few months because we did not get favorable funding or grant funds in this last cycle, and we're stalling a little bit to the next cycle to reapply. We are working on the installation of a new water well up in Roberts Park, and going through the process of the sampling and the site, trying to pick a site to put the new well on, where the last well that we did away with had too much iron all the time and it wouldn't stay clean, so we're wanting to move away from that iron, and that takes geological studies from Tim Northam at Peerless. I can go on. I'm going to go on. We're changing out the office software that I told you about. That's mostly on Cindy. Cindy, our office manager, does most of the work, but we all are involved in that, working through that with her. We're also changing out the bill pay system from Paymentus to Invoice Cloud. That's fairly involved, especially for her. We're doing a capacity study that Westlers is working on for us. The reason that we're using Westler, who was sort of our main engineer in the past, is because they sort of have a baseline of information on us from back in that day, and it's a little bit cheaper for them to do these because they can just add the information they had already compiled. And add to that, changes that have been made in customer base and things since. So they're going to be able to tell us exactly what our capacity for water and sewer is on the north end of town where a lot of our new development is trying to go. We've been working on a lot of development. We've been doing drainage reviews, water and sewer reviews for St. Gabriel's Edition. We just completed working through a process with Frontier. We wanted to make sure they're installing new internet all over town, and we wanted to make sure that if they did underground damage that we had a safety net in place to protect the city. So we negotiated with them a $150,000 maintenance bond that they'll provide, and for the 5 years, as soon as they finish with the project, they'll provide a $50,000 what would you call that? I guess a maintenance bond also that will protect us if we find that they put a line through somebody's sewer or something, then we can get that fixed and charge it against this policy. So that's something new that we haven't always done in the past, that we worked our way through. And of course, we're constantly doing reviews for Comcast, and we've spent a lot of time this summer on the Opportunity Drive development area. We're working on negotiating the union contract right now, that hopefully we can come to a fair agreement with them over the next month or so. Been working with Rosemary and the mayor and Adam through the budget process. We spent quite a bit of time studying our trash and recycling programs and trying to come up with the future and how that looks for us here in town. And David is doing the brunt of the work, but we're working with him to, the transfer station permit has now been approved for the next 5 years, and we hope to get the compost permit also approved, and that's 5 years too, right?
Yeah.
We hope to have that wrapped up here shortly. So these are just some of the things that we are involved in that keep us pretty busy on a regular basis. So any questions?
It's not a full list.
And that's not a full list. I didn't have time to write anything else on the list.
I know his list because I usually give it to him.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Chief Bowl, sorry.
That's all right. Hello again.
Hello.
Everybody's got our monthly totals. On our overtime, it's slightly higher, obviously due to our shortage of manpower. We've got 3 currently in the academy. They're into it about 2 or 3 weeks, so they got quite a ways to go still. We still have 1 that's field training with some of our guys on second shift. That should be completed approximately within the next month or so. So he'll help alleviate that. And we are also down 1 officer that we have yet to replace. And I'll come to you guys in the future over that.
Well, at
So,
least it's a little bit less than last month, so it's a little bit less than last month, so.
yeah, we still had them here, is why
Yeah, right.
they left. So I just want you all and the public to know that we are still actively working on that shooting that happened on or about September 10th. I am getting current updates as much as the detectives can give daily, which isn't too much at this point. So we just ask everybody to be patient with us as we continue to investigate it. And we are working in conjunction with the state police. And we remind the public, if you have any info over this case or any other case, to please contact the police department and our detective division. So that's where we're at with that. Any questions on that? All right, everybody has our run totals, just over 1,000 runs last month. As you can see, there's various types of calls, and on this list, it appears that our accidents have gone up a little bit last month. We were about 50 or so accidents last month. any questions on our call totals. We are actively training monthly. We have mandatory monthly department training in various fields. So does everybody have a copy of our ordinance paperwork? Okay, I got this from our ordinance enforcer. If you guys have any questions with this, he's here to answer them today.
I rode with him last Thursday.
Yeah, and that's great.
Yeah.
I realize there's several of you guys that are riding with him. We encourage you guys to do that if you have any questions in your areas or whatnot. Get with him, and you're more than welcome to ride with him. So, any questions on the report?
Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chief. John out there, there he is. Right on cue.
I was ready. All right, for the month of August, we had 10 hours, 50 minutes of meeting production, 16 hours, 50 minutes of original production. Right now, we're very involved in football production with the high school, and we had a really exciting game Friday night, so we had a lot of viewership for that, obviously.
Yeah, they sold, he told me it was over 1,000 tickets. And they don't, it's not counting the passes that everyone gets, the seasonal pass.
That's very,
So
very
that
good.
was a big night for everyone over that night. It was crowded.
Yep. Helped out a little bit with the homecoming. Of course, the mayor did a lot of work there. So he may not recognize himself, but I'll recognize him for him. That was a lot of effort and really, really well done, I thought.
Thank you, I'm a rookie.
I thought it was great. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right, move down to any old business. Is there any old business? Miscellaneous business. You have a questionnaire packet in there from Adrian Ellis from the Fayette County Emergency Management Office. There are some questions on there. If you could answer those and just send those back to him, that's really all he needs on that. So just make sure we get that done, please, for him. And everyone has a copy of the budget we're going to give the council as well to kind of review, and gives you an opportunity to see what Adam's up to. There's a lot of information there. It's extremely detailed and doing a fantastic job for us. So you guys you approve the contract, but I want you to see what he's actually doing for everyone at the same time. So very helpful. And I believe, I'm not for sure if you got a quote. I have presented a quote for the radios. Just keep those in your back pocket. We're going to present those to council, so we have to advertise for those. Once you review those, these radios have been you would think it would be an easy answer, and they're not. Every time you talk to them, everything changes. And then I sat through an ISO training and realized there could be something more that's an addition, different things to make things work better. And I think we got to a final solution. There's two companies who could give a quote, and you have the one company who quoted it. The other company didn't quote everything like they were supposed to. I don't even know if they're willing to. So that is the quote we have, and that's what I'm comfortable with, but we'll be presenting that later. Just get a chance to review it. If you want to talk about it, we can. We want to use ARP dollars for those, but that's the council's going to have to make that decision. But I want you guys to look at those and review those. If you have any questions, just get with me.
These are also state bid numbers, is
Yeah,
that correct?
they're state bid numbers. The only thing that they can really work on is the radio installation piece, and that's kind of where the issue lied with the other company. They wanted me to give them the contract, and they want to give a number, and I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. So this company's been very good to work with. They call constantly. They're always responding. They're always getting back with me. The other company does not respond very well. So I'm assuming it's just they're busy. I'm not bashing them, but I need accurate numbers, and I can't present information that's not accurate. So just review those. I have more detail if you want to see more detail. There's like 10 pages of detail for each one. If you want that detail, I'll give it to you. But those are just the numbers. Is there any other miscellaneous business? We're going down to claims.
Claims for the city of Connersville on September 19th is $128,386.24. Payroll, $310,267.92. Utility was $217,861.62.
Motion to approve claims.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Trying to write and I'm slow, sorry. Okay. Pleasure, I'm out there, going for the public, so I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Have a good day. Almost forgot the hammer.
He's late on the